All right, we're back. Week 6 in the books of the Warehouse Fantasy Football League. Let's get to the games here real quick. We had my privates dipping themselves in some hummus with the 104-93 win over Matt's team. Matt's team, unfortunately, had there was feast or famine for them this week. He had 3 guys, Luck, Hilton, and Giovanni Bernard, get him 25 or more, and then he had 4 guys get him 1 or less. Just wasn't enough to get him over the hump, as I handed my nephew the loss with the 104-93 win for me. Ruxin got the win over the Misfits, 105-82. In another game, we had the MILFs beating AD 83-77. Milf 5-1 now, not only number one in his division, but number one in the league. I gotta say, this game here was intriguing to me. Both of these guys have done a great job of moving guys in and out of their lineup, making trades. Milf has really done it with a lot of no-name guys. He's 5-1. Anthony's 4-2. Has only scored over 100, I think, maybe one time this whole season, maybe 2, but out of 6 weeks, being 4-2 and scoring over 100 once, maybe twice, is a phenomenal effort for him. Again, with the loss, though, he's still 4-2. All right, up to the next game, Jack's Colonials with the 119-97 win over the Comeback Kid. It's going to be a far run back here for the Comeback Kid. Our defending champion now sits at 1-5, tied with Sacco Boy for the worst record in the league. Will, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that you don't go first to worst. I hate to see that happen. So keep the spirits high, and hopefully you'll pull out a win sooner or later against someone besides me. Okay. And then next, speaking of Sacco Boy, he took another loss. As I just said, he is 1-5 as Mark's Groot team hands him the 101-80 loss. All right. A couple players real fast back to Jack and Will's game. Really, Jack had a little bit of luck here going with him, meaning that Will picked up Eli Manning thinking he would exploit that Eagle defense Sunday night. That didn't happen, and unfortunately, Will had two quarterbacks that I despise, because this is what they do. They throw up weeks like last week where Flacco had 35 and Cam had 37, and now they'll come out this week and they'll each throw up 6 or 10. Just like Matt Ryan. I put Matt Ryan right in the book with Flacco and Cam. Drive me nuts. But again, Jack, consider yourself very lucky that Will didn't play one of them, or you're on a loss this week. All right, players of the week. We have several of them I want to give a shout out to. Aaron Rodgers had 28, helping his team to a win. Forte had 27, helping his team to a win. Lions defense, Eagles defense, 20 plus for each of those, helping their teams to wins. Rivers played very well this week with 28, helping his team to a win. And a shout out to DeMarco Murray. His team did not get the win, but Murray again scored 20 plus, and he's now averaging 20.3 on the season. He is last year's Shady McCoy at this point. Being a non-Cowboy fan sort of helped that ends pretty soon, especially when they come play the Bears. All right, we got a shout out to a couple other players here this week. Ben Tate at 19 as he's back in the groove. Julius Thomas continues to be the best tight end in the NFL this season, scoring 17 more. Mohamed Sanu took advantage of A.J. Green being out for a few weeks and Marvin Jones being out for the season. Sanu, the number one wide receiver, or choice at least for Ginger Boy over in Cincinnati, put up 18 in the wonderful tie between them and the Panthers. Another shout out to Arian Foster, who's come hot lately, and this week had 26. And then a couple guys we haven't heard from that had been steady contributors through the years. Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden, a late pickup from Bodner after A.J. Green went down, each had 15 this week. All right, so real quick, my scrub of the week, choker of the week, is almost more like my scrub of the year so far. Eddie Lacy of the Packers. Love to say a scrub is from the Packers personally, but Lacy's had a great week against Minnesota, 25 last week, but came back with a rousing 4 this past week in the Packers win over Miami. Eddie Lacy has 50 points in 6 games. However, 36 of those came in 2 games. So he's got 14 in his other 4 games. Awful. He's going to have to do something better, or AD's luck may start to run out on him. All right, speaking of AD, getting into next week's games, I got AD going at 4-2, playing my privates at 3-3. That's a great big win for me here this week if I can get it. Getting right back in the right up there with him at 4-3. We got the Colonials going up against the Misfits. Both teams are 4-2. This is not a division win. Both of them are in the battle for their division lead, so that should be a great game. Sacco Boy at 1-5, taking on the Misfits at 5-1. I'm calling the upset right now. Sacco Boy gets his second win of the year this week against Eric's MILF. All right. Again, and then we got Ruxin and I'm sorry, I'm seeing my notes. We got Hummus Boy going up against Will. Hummus Boy is 2-4, and Will's at 1-5. This is basically a battle for last place in that division. If Will gets it, he'll be able to tie Hummus Boy, and depending on what Mark does in his game. That's the game I was at. Mark's game and Ruxin. Mark is 2-4. Ruxin is 4-2. Mark's got 2 wins in a row on a roll. I like both of these teams. They have great setups. Unfortunately for Mark, McCoy, who just got hot, is now on a bye. But Ruxin's without AJ Green, so I like this matchup. This might be, looking forward, our game of the week. We'll see how that turns out. All right, well, good luck to everybody. See you next week. Later.